G'day. This video pertains only to two-wheeled motorcycle cargo trailers. I have no experience with mono-wheeled trailers or camper trailers, which are generally much larger and heavier. Down the track I might consider doing a longer, more detailed video if I get a lot of interest in this one. I'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to start at the very front of a trailer and work my way back. So let's look at some different types of tow hitches you can get and what you should look for. This is the part that attaches to your motorcycle. First up, there is the polyblock coupling, which is really good for off-road riding. This particular hitch is made quite well from strong round bar steel and is well braced. For larger touring motorcycles, many will look like this. This one is made very well, and I can tell by looking at it that there would be zero movement once it's attached. These tow hitches were manufactured by Classic Industries in Australia. I have used one of these myself, and because the vertical struts are just flat bar steel, they do have some sideways movement. This is a bad thing. I don't recommend this type unless you are prepared to strengthen the down struts. This design looks quite strong, but is more for adventure or off-road riding. These hitches are made in Australia and are extremely well made and very strong. I strongly recommend this design, which is made for more standard type motorcycles. This is one of my own hitches, which I made myself, but with a lot of help from my brother. It's served me well for many years without any issues. This is a swing arm mounted hitch, and I do not recommend their use in any way, shape or form. Remember, your connection needs to be as close to the rear of your motorcycle as possible. The further away the connection is, the more influence your trailer will have on your motorcycle. Here's some pretty cool looking homemade trailers. Now let's have a look at some of the different types of couplings. This is a very common ball coupling. Although this one is somewhat over-engineered for motorcycle use, it does swivel. And you should always use a swivel coupling when towing a trailer behind a motorcycle, no matter what anyone tells you. This one is similar, but lighter, and also has hydraulic brakes fitted. I'll talk more about brakes later. This is a Heim trailer connection. They also swivel 360 degrees, but they have the advantage of having no slop. However, you won't be able to tow your trailer around with your car if you need to, like you could if you had the ball type. There are other connections which are also quite good, but they are much less common. This hitch and coupling, although built quite strong, is too high and the angle is all wrong. The coupling would lend itself to lifting off if the motorcycle were to suddenly go up a steep incline, such as a steep driveway. It's not a swivel coupling either. This connection is also too high. Here's what your rig should look like. Note how everything is in a straight line and level. Here's some fairly standard types of trailers which you can buy. This setup was one of mine from a few years back. So now let's look at some different types of suspension you can get. First up is the most common, leaf springs. While there certainly is nothing wrong with leaf springs, trailers with this suspension do tend to bounce a lot more. Some trailers have rubber torsion suspension, which works independently and offers a quieter and smoother ride. Lastly, there are some trailers which offer independent shock absorbers on each side. Trailers equipped with this type of suspension have more flexibility and handle substantially better overall. Bushtec, an American brand, even have adjustable air suspension. Remember, the smaller your trailer wheels are, the more your suspension will have to work. Here's some trailers which are a little more upmarket and stylish. Not only do these trailers perform very well, they also look fantastic. If you buy the correct size trailer, you don't necessarily need a large capacity motorcycle. This is one of my rigs from a few years ago. The bike is a 650cc Aprilia. This rig is just wrong on so many levels it's not funny. If your trailer looks too big for your motorcycle, it probably is. If your trailer is quite heavy, and by heavy I mean close to half the weight of your motorcycle, or you ride in steep terrain, it may be a good idea to have one which has some kind of brakes fitted. Override mechanical or override hydraulic brakes are fine, as are electric brakes. The choice is yours. Loading your trailer correctly is very important. Too much weight in the rear of the trailer will cause the trailer to become very unstable. Too much weight in the front of the trailer will cause binding of the hitch, not allowing the motorcycle to lean properly, and will also lift the front of the motorcycle, reducing front wheel traction. The majority of the weight should be low and right over the wheels of the trailer. The additional loading of weight should be distributed to provide proper tongue weight of around 10 to 15% of the weight of the loaded trailer. If you're interested, here's a few good tips. Always carry a fish scale or something else which will help you determine the correct tongue weight after emptying and reloading a trailer. Carry some wheel chocks in case you ever need to park on a steep incline. You want enough slack with your safety chains and electrical wiring to turn sharply, but not so much slack that they will rub on the ground at any stage. If you prefer using two chains, cross them over underneath. Safety cables are another option over chains, as they are lighter and don't rattle. Finding out your right tyre pressures is very important, but firstly you need to totally disregard whatever tyre pressures your trailer manufacturer recommends, because I got this great tip from a bloke named Mick in a private Facebook group. It's unbelievably simple, yet extremely accurate, and it works a treat. All you need is a really fat piece of chalk. Tow your loaded trailer until your tyres are up to normal operating temperature. Stop and draw a nice wide line across the width of the tread with the chalk. Then ride a few hundred metres down the road, pull up and have a look at the chalk line. If it has got fainter in the middle, your tyre is overinflated. If it has got fainter on the edges, your tyre is underinflated. If the chalk line is worn evenly across the whole width of the tread, then that's your correct tyre pressure. When your tyres cool down, take a reading of your tyre pressure and write it down. Now you have your cold tyre pressure for that load weight. Of course, if you substantially change the load in your trailer at any stage, you will need to do this again. Some of the negative and unavoidable issues which will occur when towing a trailer behind a motorcycle are reduced manoeuvrability, faster wear on your motorcycle tyres, clutch, brakes and final drive. You will also have increased fuel consumption. And then of course there's this, which I downloaded from Two Wheels Big Life. I hope you guys don't mind, but I think it's relevant and well worth watching. Richard did nothing wrong here. He just had to stop on a steep incline and lost traction, which got me thinking that trailers also need some kind of emergency brakes or something. This accident was totally unavoidable in the situation he was in. For me, there is one particular trailer which stands out and ticks all of the boxes. And right off the bat, I have no affiliation whatsoever with this business in any way. It's just my honest opinion. I do not, nor have I ever owned one, but I have towed one. The trailer I'm talking about is made in South Australia by Performance Trailers. It's light, aerodynamic, it has decent sized wheels, disc brakes, as well as independent adjustable suspension and a very low centre of gravity, which means you can safely tow them empty. They're also very attractive and come colour matched to your bike. However, there are many different trailers available to purchase. You have to decide which features are important to you. I hope this video has given you something to think about. If so, please take the time to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. It's totally free, and check out my video on Burt Munro while you're at it. Cheers.